as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It'll be Jacoby Brissett under center for the Colts. He, of course, made 15 starts in Andrew Luck's absence 2 years ago. Not much required of him last year. He threw just 4 passes total. But that experience as a starter, very valuable in this learning process. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And while there are plenty of targets to find in the Indianapolis passing game, tight end Eric Ebron really emerged as a big-time threat in 2018. He led all tight ends with 13 touchdown catches, made his first ever Pro Bowl, and has erased the memories of some disappointing days in Detroit by making some big-time catches.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
25 yards there on the catch and run. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg, maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Watson. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. Houston. Ezekiel Elliott touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead.
My man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Brissett, and that is incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know? Yeah. The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Nifty move. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. It's almost... like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make... him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now Brissett. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The numbers from last week's game for Ebron. 9 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes. Stretched. Dreamed. Going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch every one thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32 in that category. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Brissett sets to throw it. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 15 yards on the play, first down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your break. Pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Brissett. Pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless showing up. Mercy flies in for the sack. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
26, 19, 59, 59.
Watson now to throw. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tank.
That's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go!
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
From the 25 on second down, Watson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fuller. A gain there of 21 yards. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. From the 16, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
From the gun, here's Watson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
After the sack on first down, Watson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that,
and he is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys are able to regain the lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. Play fake, Brissett. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Throwing on second down. Brissett. Ebron with it over the middle. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Margaret McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. Watson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League.
64! And 31!
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend? For the defense near the goal line, or no, because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations, so it is harder to defend.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down now. It's Mack, able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he connects with Ebron. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. Brissett now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Brissett, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Brissett now. And this one complete, right side to Funchess. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They go play action with Brissett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They keep on the ground with Elliott. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 38, Watson forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 20-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone now, Watson being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And it's a touchdown. Deshaun Watson on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On 1st and 10, Brissett. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Again, it's Brissett. And his throw is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice. Or maybe
going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
You know, watch the twist. Watch the twist. Alert. 58, boys, 58, 58, Mike. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Oh, try. Hey,
after the interception, here's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Here we go, here we go. Short. 58, boys, 58. 58 to Mike. Watch the run.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Watson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Shit.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Let's go one more.
Throwing again, it's Watson. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Once again, hope everyone out there has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Settling down now to watch Thursday Night Football. Let's take a look ahead to what's coming here on the rest of this holiday weekend. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears as they get set to take on the visiting New York Giants. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being in Tennessee, where it'll be the Titans at home in Nashville, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one to kick off Thanksgiving week. Ravens and Rams from Los Angeles. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.